and welcome to this edition of Interview. We're joined by legendary film score composer, musician extraordinaire, Hans Zimmer. Hans, thank you for joining us today.
I'm so happy to be here.
Now, you've worked on over 150 films, if not more. You must have a tale or two to tell.
I probably do, but you know something? I never count how many I've done, so I'm always going, really? You know? No, it's been quite a life.
What for you has probably been the most challenging film to work on?
Every single one, because the problem is, you know, you say yes and you're all excited, and then you get home and you go, blank page, you know, and the more you do, because everybody wants something new, of course. The whiter the page gets, so it just stares at you and it just tortures you. The opportunities, the stories, the journeys I've been able to go on, you know, the people I've been able to meet, the people I've been able to work with, the musicians, you know, that play with me. I mean, like this tour, I mean, you know, I got Lisa Gerrard from Gladiator, or from Dead Can Dance if you want. You got Lever, who's the voice of the Lion King. You know, I mean, I got my favorite guitarist, Guthrie Govan, you know, and, you know, you never know if Johnny Marr comes in or not. You're
going to be in Dubai for the Hans Zimmer live on stage show. What can your fans expect? What can we say?
Well, chaos. No. It's like, it's going to be a bit different. One of the, God, you know, one of my problems has always been when somebody tells me what to do, I do the opposite. And one of the things we were told right at the beginning is, you know, the audience's attention span is really short these days, don't do anything long. So like Pirates, for instance, is 14 minutes long, Dark Knight is 22 minutes long. So these are chunky pieces. And I do have a super group at the moment. I mean, I probably have the best group of musicians that anybody's ever had. So there's that, and then there's the remarkable John Featherston, who's our lighting designer. So that's that part. Yeah. And the other part is, just like now, whatever comes to me, I treat it like a big dinner party, right? So we're just having a chat.
Just a nice intimate chat with about how many thousand people?
I don't know. You know, it's like between 12 and 20,000 people. I mean, you know, and that's how you have to do it. I think that's how you have to do it. You know, and you just tell war stories, basically.
3 Golden Globes, 4 Grammys, 2 Oscars, first one being for The Lion King, second one for June, which was filmed just down the road here in the UAE.
Absolutely. It's filming right now. I mean, I promise you. Yes, it's early enough. They're still at it. I know they're still at it.
Are you signed up for the sequel?
I'm supposed to be there right now.
Taxi for Hans.
Right, exactly. Taxi for me. No, I mean, it's such a passion project, you know, and Denis Villeneuve is... not only is he a remarkable director with a remarkable... Look, all directors come to you with great imagination, great plans. They seduce you into doing something. You know, they have these amazing ideas, you know. But the thing about Denis is, on top of all that, he leads with kindness. Yeah. And that's really, it's such a huge production. And somehow he manages to maintain this sort of humanity and this great heart.
I imagine you developed some incredible friendships through your work, and another director is the great Ridley Scott, and you've worked on several projects. You know, how is that collaboration between the two of you? Do you kind of bounce off each other and input into each other's creative spaces?
Yes, very much so. He's an artist. Yeah. Number one, he's an artist. So he responds to another artist as well. He lets me pretty much do what I want to do. The work we've done together is so diverse. I mean, Thelma and Louise it's very different from Black Hawk Down. It's very different from Hannibal. It's very different from Gladiator, you know. But it's this constant sort of, you know, let's try something new, you know. Let's see if it works. And sometimes it doesn't, you know. I mean, we've had a bit of that as well.
You're self-taught, I believe. You did like 2 weeks of piano lessons as a child?
Please do not call me self-taught. I had 2 weeks of piano lessons. They count for something.
Was it the discipline you didn't like? Why did you decide it wasn't for you?
I tell you exactly why. And it's just so stupid, but it's so childlike. I was 6 years old, and my mum said, "Do you want a piano teacher?" And I thought a piano teacher is somebody who teaches you, you know, all those tunes you hear in your head, how to get them under your fingers. That's not what they teach you. They teach you scales and other people's music. I didn't want to play other people's music.
You went into a rock band, didn't you? And then you played with Trevor Horn and Buggles. Video Killed the Radio Star.
Maybe.
You were in the video. Do you know that was my first ever record?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, very much.
I don't.
First video on MTV. I know.
Exactly.
I know. Who would have thunk it? Yeah.
I think one of the other things you've been quoted as saying is that working on David Attenborough's Planet Earth was, you know, one of the life-changing moments for you.
It's the most important thing I'm doing.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because it's real. I literally came from Antarctica just now, and you see it changing. Yeah. You see it changing. So I think what David is doing, and what you know, my little bit of help with this is, he's making us remember that we are actually supposed to be in love with this planet, that we all share this planet. And so it's you know, it's a bit important.
You were born in Germany, and you grew up in post-war Germany in a Jewish family. How did that change your outlook and influence you down the line?
We never talked about it. 2001, I think, I was in Berlin at the Berlin Film Festival, and with Thin Red Line and a film about the Holocaust.
Sure.
And the journalists were going, "Why do you still have to go on about this?" And I was sitting next to Renee Firestone, who had come out of Auschwitz at the age of 14. I mean, you know, so, and these were, I mean, I was surrounded by people who had come back to Germany for the first time and who were frightened. And I said, well, I have a weird relationship with this country. You know, I come from a Jewish family. My mom fled to England. My mom still had an English passport, you know. And as I said it, I suddenly went, oh my God, I made a terrible mistake. I outed my family. Wow. And I started getting a clangor of an anxiety attack. And I remember Renee Firestone, Auschwitz survivor, just taking my hand under the table because she could tell I was having a small meltdown. And I got up from the table, I got to a phone, I phoned my mom, and I said, I did something really terrible. I told everybody. And there's a long pause, and she said, I'm really proud of you. I think that's the only time she ever said she was really proud of me.
I'm sure she, deep down, was very proud of you.
Yeah,
for
but
lots
you know what's mentioned.
How have you seen the industry change? Because obviously the advancement of technology has such a huge impact on every aspect and every industry.
It does, but at the same time, it's still the same thing. We're trying to hunt down that story that moves us. We're trying to hunt down something that gives us an experience. We're trying to get better at having an experience. You know, we're trying to, you know, make things more immediate. I mean, you guys shooting on digital cameras, it's like, you know, you can make you can be ready really quickly. You can capture the moment. You can capture the magic. And it is magic. When you get the moment, it's fantastic.
What's the strangest thing you've ever had to do to create a sound?
There probably are a lot of things. I mean, the sound the Joker has in The Dark Knight is pretty. It was like an endless experiment, and Chris Nolan was still finishing the film, and he was going from LA to Hong Kong and from Hong Kong to London to finish the film. And I bought him an iPod, and I put all these ideas down. And I said to him, well, what do you think, Chris? He goes, it didn't make me a better person, you know. It was really out there.
Hans, I could sit and talk to you all day. I'm aware that you have a dinner reservation to get to, but thank you so much for joining us on Interview today. Pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.